Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. Sorry it's been a while. A lot going on to talk to you about today. A couple of big announcements to make. So we're going to jump right into it. Um, I don't know how many people will get here tonight. I kind of did this one impromptu. And so you never know when you do a show like that. In about 2 hours, my grandson's coming over. So this was the time when it looked like it would work out best to do the video. And let me start off by saying hello to our channel members. These are people that really support the channel. They're not getting a lot of content right now, so I appreciate them sticking with us. And there's four of them right now. We've got Robbie Ross, Ramon, Adam, and Gary Cook. So I thank y'all for being channel members. Hopefully I'll get some content over there soon and make it more appealing to y'all. All right. So, oh boy, I don't know where to start. First of all, I've got a guy that's considering doing some owner financing on a couple of trucks. If that's something y'all are interested in, email me at todd@truckertodd.net, and I'll let him know that's something that you're interested in. Please don't be a dirtbag or somebody that would burn him. Please be a good guy that I can recommend with confidence. Secondly, I've got another guy that I know. I recently met him probably about a month ago, and I've been talking to him on here for a while. He has a reefer, and he's considering letting somebody lease onto him, run under his numbers. He said he could dispatch you, or you could self-dispatch. He would prefer somebody that lives in South Carolina and would run up to like the Minnesota, Wisconsin, Chicago area. He's got a really good account there where you can work 5 days a week and make quite a bit of money. So if that's something that you might be interested in, again, email me at todd@truckertodd.net, and I'll get you two in contact, and y'all can cuss and discuss it and see if that's something that you're interested in. So I did a video, it's been a couple of weeks ago now, where I was talking about if it was a time for a change. And some of you took that to mean I was getting out of trucking altogether. Maybe I'm going to become a greeter at Walmart. Some of you thought I might go sell cars again. Some of you thought that I might leave SRO Logistics. And I've got an announcement to make. And I am looking for other job opportunities. Scott is aware of it. He understands. This is still the best job I've ever had. I love working for SRO Logistics. But there's this one policy that changed since I came back after the stroke, and I didn't realize it had changed prior to coming back. I would have liked to have been grandfathered in the way I was with things before. And so I'm considering leaving. I'd hoped, and to this day, I still hope that he'll call me and that we'll reach some kind of an understanding. He's a great guy. It's a great company, and I really, really like working here. By far the best job I've ever had. But this one particular policy really, really screws with the way I do things. And so I'm not going to be airing any dirty laundry. I'm not throwing him under the bus. I still recommend him. If you call me and say, hey, Todd, should I go to SRO Logistics? I'm going to say absolutely. I've still got his email and the ticker at the bottom of the screen. So it is my hope that he will contact me. We've talked about this issue several times. And at one point he told me, well, that's just the way it is. And kind of a take it or leave it type situation. And so right now I'm considering if I'm going to take it or leave it. As we speak, I've had two companies offer me a job. honestly, I don't feel like either one of those jobs is as good as what I've got now. But this policy change is really, really affecting me negatively, and it may force my hand a little bit. So, like I said, I'm supposed to go take a drug test tomorrow, and I haven't fully decided if I'm going to do that yet or not. But anyway, that's what's going on here. If you guys hear of any great opportunities, especially for where I live, because that's the biggest deal that holds everything up. A lot of people think it's the accident. You would be surprised. There was some false information on the accident that got corrected. And now that it's corrected, it's not very hard for me to get a job. But I just want to go somewhere good. I hate changing jobs. It's a hassle, especially when you got your own truck. And so if the ideal situation, if y'all are praying for me, is that Scott and I can work this out some way behind the scenes. And if not, then pray that I'll find a decent job. And so let's get to the next thing. I had somebody email me this week. Actually, I had a lot of people. I've been getting about 50 emails a day, some of them related to the YouTube channel, some of them to other stuff, brokers and things like that. But he said, hey, Todd, when are you going to do another video? I said, man, I've been planning the last few days. It's just something always comes up. And I said, is there anything specific you'd like me to talk about? He said, no, we just want to hear about your adventures, what's going on. And so that's why I titled this video like I did, put the little Superman thing on there with my huge head on it and all. But when I did my last video, I'd had some truck issues and just got those fixed. The truck seems to be running great. I've had some weird loads. I ran over to the Midwest and I had 2 loads within a 3-day period that canceled on me. TONU, TONU, however you want to call it, truck ordered, not used. You get paid a little bit on those, but it's oftentimes not worth the hassle. I'd much rather pull the load. And so now I'm back kind of over here running the Texas area. I ran Texas to Louisiana, and then I took a little one up to Arkansas, and then I took an Oklahoma one back to Texas that I'll deliver tomorrow morning. And that's kind of what I've been up to, just working my tail off and kind of seeing how things go. All right. So that I don't say too much and get myself in trouble, I'm going to go ahead and read some of these comments. I won't be speaking specifically on the private issues between me and SRO Logistics, just because personal policy I've always had, and that is that you don't air dirty laundry while things are still being worked out. And so what I mean by that is I could go on here and list my concerns, and in doing that, that video is out there. And then tomorrow we could work everything out, and somebody could see this video and they could go, oh, well, I do want to go to SRO Logistics because of this company, or I don't want to go there because of this company, even though I've made a follow-up video saying what the results are. So per my personal regulations, nothing that anybody's imposed on me, I won't be revealing anything like that as long as there's a chance that he and I can come to some kind of mutual agreement. And let me explain that, because going back to the Swift days, a mutual agreement doesn't necessarily mean that I get my way or that I get everything just like I want it. But I would like to have a dialogue, a conversation, maybe a compromise of some sort. And after 2 or 3 discussions, we haven't been able to get that yet, but you never know. I remain optimistic. Like I said, I don't have anything bad to say about the guy. I don't have anything bad to say about the company. It's just a recent policy update, and I don't know when it happened. Sometime during the 7 months that I was away for medical issues, the policy changed, and I kind of feel like I should have been made aware of it before I returned. I was not made aware of it. I wasn't even told about it at orientation. I actually found out after I pulled my first load. And I don't think there was any ill intent there. I don't think I was purposely misled or anything like that. I just feel like maybe that information fell through the cracks. And I've tried to work with it and deal with it, but it's causing some real hardships. And I've shared some of those. And so I'm not going to comment anymore on it about that right now. If I do end up having to leave, I may let y'all know what led up to that at some point. But right now, I think it's just a little premature to talk on those things. All right, let's see who we got here. Adam was first in today. He says, "Here from the farm. It's good to have you." He's also a moderator. And my good friend Robbie Ross, who's also a channel member and moderator, said, "Hello, friends from somewhere in Iowa heading to Cannon Falls, Minnesota." He and I were we crisscrossed paths the last few days a few times. We almost ran into each other in Weatherford, and we almost ran into each other in Oklahoma City, but we missed each other by just a couple hours. And Gary Cook, channel member, says he's here in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. It's been a while since I've been up there. And channel member and moderator Robbie Ross, did you find the new place to work at, Gary? So he wants to know if Gary got a new place to work. Roger Berry, hello from Cynthiana. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Kentucky. I'm on home time. Hope all is well. Yeah, doing good. A lot of y'all were worried about me the last couple of videos. And I'm doing all right. I'm not as depressed as everybody thinks I am. The market's been tough. It will beat you down. Rates have been disappointing, but I'm still getting some decent rates. It's just tough out there right now. Lance Calhoun. Okay, Super Todd, watch out for those flying tariffs. It's funny, at one of my previous jobs, that was my nickname, Super Todd. And it's from a job I had about 30 years ago, but I just thought of it when you said that. Yeah, they called me Super Todd there. Racing Ray. Hey, Trucker Todd. Hey, Gorilla Gang. I'll catch y'all after the race is over from the hospital room here in Lubbock. Yeah, y'all say a quick prayer for my uncle if you get a chance. He's having some medical procedures in the hospital and will probably be in there till at least Tuesday. So if you get a chance, say a prayer for him. And Robbie Ross, channel member and moderator. Hope you're okay, Ray. And Racing Ray, because of low functioning kidneys, I'm just getting started on dialysis. Hopefully it will help me to feel a lot better. I should be getting out of the hospital soon. And Racing Ray again, thanks, Robbie. I should be real better soon. I started dialysis, but I've been sick for a while because of low functioning kidneys. Yeah, on a positive note about Racing Ray, and I don't think he'll mind me saying this, I generally talk to him nearly every day, and I have noticed just in the sound of his voice, I told him this last night, that the last 3 days especially, he's sounded better and stronger every day. So I think he's on the right path now, and I'm optimistic that he'll be a lot better real soon. It's encouraging when you can talk to somebody on the phone and hear their voice get stronger every day and seem like their breathing is better and things like that. Robbie Ross, channel member and moderator. Sorry to hear that, Ray. And Alaska Hall is here. Met him recently about a month ago. Good guy. Funny story, though. It's super late at night. And I'm pulling into this little truck stop to park. It's pitch black dark in there. And I see these two guys walk across the parking lot in front of my truck. And they're staring and looking. And I don't know who they are. And so I start to get out of the truck, and all of a sudden they start walking towards me. And I get back in my truck, and I shut my door, and they walk over, and they go, "Are you Trucker Todd?" And I say, "Yeah." And he goes, "I'm Alaska Hall, and this is my friend." And so I was glad to get to meet them. Really nice guys. He's been coming on here for a long time, and I was glad to finally get to meet him. Mac T, 100 truckers versus one gorilla. Chris Howard is on 287 right now, heading for Amarillo. I saw your text. I'll get to it and answer it after the show. But yeah, when you get to Amarillo, you'll be about 2 hours from me here in Lubbock. I got here late last night and spent the night in the truck, and then I came to the house after I woke up. Channel member Gary Cook, take the truck back to Swift. A lot of people have said, "Hey, Todd, why don't you go back to Swift?" And it's actually a twofold reason. Number one reason is they want your truck to have collision mitigation equipment on it. My truck does not have the collision mitigation stuff on it. So the little brick in the bumper that slams on your brakes and beeps and all of that, my truck does not have that. I'm glad my truck does not have that. But I would not be able to take the current truck that I'm in back to Swift. Also, they want that accident, regardless of the situation of fault or not at fault. They want it to be 3 to 5 years old. Right now, it's 2 years old. Could I probably get around that? Maybe, but can't get around the not having collision mitigation on the truck. And channel member Gary Cook says he has not yet found a job. That one guy says, "Hey, Todd, good to see you kicking." Yes, sir, I'm still here. Gary Cook, channel member Todd, does Swift have a Mexico truck fleet? Yes, they do. Generally, all the trucks I've seen have been blue Freightliners. It's called Transfleet or Transmix. I think it's called Transmix. You'll see them a lot in New Mexico and Texas. I'm trying to think of that town. There's a little town out in the middle of nowhere, and they pick up a lot of stuff there and run it down to Mexico. That one guy, Trucker Todd, thought he had creepers, but they were just fans. I don't know about that. I've had, over the years, I've had a couple of people that kind of lost their marbles. But for the most part, I don't really think I got fans. I think over time they become friends. And, doing these videos, people think they think they know you well, and they know part of you well. And so it's always a pleasure to meet you guys out in public. But I don't think of it as fans or anything like that. I think of it as more as just an extended friendship, let's say. And I appreciate every one of you, even the ones of you that think I'm an idiot. even the ones of you that disagree with me, I still appreciate y'all, and I'm glad you're here. You could be doing a lot of things this evening, and I'm glad you decided to hang out here with me. Mac T found it for me. It's Swift Transmix. That sounds right to me. A lot of people don't realize that it's been over 2 years since I was at Swift, and a lot has changed since I was there. Yeah, they've had some changes in leadership. They've had some changes in policy. And at one point in time, I used to know a lot about Swift, but they've had some stuff changed. I'm probably not the expert on Swift now, but all I can tell you is when I was there, I did really well. Alaska Hall, good to meet you, buddy. I think trucking is about to get much better after the non-speaking English drivers will be put out of service. Yes, sir. I agree with you. I've taken a lot of heat for my comments about that this week, and I even lost a friend over it this week. He's a YouTuber in a different genre. He talks video games and stuff like that, and he's upset with me right now. Not super mad, but it's definitely put a strain on our friendship. He doesn't like the tariffs. He doesn't get it about the non-English speaking drivers, and so hopefully things will calm down. It's, we've talked about this before. When I was in high school, my pickup had a gun rack in the back of it, and I had rifles up there all the time. And we rode to school like that, and the principal knew they were in there, and it wasn't a problem as long as the guns didn't come out of the truck. And we got in fist fights at school, and nobody ever ran out to their truck and got a gun. Nobody ever ran out to their truck and got a pocket knife. Shoot, usually a couple hours later, we were eating lunch together. So I don't know what's wrong with everybody now. It's a different time. And the same thing, I said all that to say this. There was a time, especially in the CB days, you could debate politics on the CB radio, and sometimes a guy could change your mind or you could change their political mind. But now people are so entrenched in their ways that, the guys that love Donald Trump love him, and he can do no wrong, and he's the greatest thing ever. And the guys that hate him, he can't do anything right. Everything he does is bad, and he's evil, and he's racist, and there has to be some middle ground there. And that's what I was telling a guy, that other YouTuber that does a video game channel. That's what I was telling him, is that he said, "Oh, you just agree with everything Trump does." I said, "No, if you want to have a discussion about Trump, there's some things that Trump does that I disagree with. But as far as tariffs go, I think they're a good idea. I think it's going to help the American farmer. I think it's going to take some time." My uncle said it really well the other night on the phone. He's like, people expect instant change in the economy. And when you make changes like this, it takes time. And I realize that we're going to have months and possibly a year or two of strain, financial strain and hardship. But I think at the light at the end of that tunnel, it's going to be a lot better. And we just got to hang in there and quit tearing each other down. Channel member Gary Cook says he's actually still at Advanced. For some reason, I thought you had quit there, but I guess you're still there just looking. Doesn't Swift, Lance Calhoun says, doesn't Swift train new drivers? Just seems odd. Yeah, they do, and they have their own school, and I don't know their safety policies, why they do what they do. I get why they want the collision mitigation stuff. It's because they're going to a new 3-camera system. It's forward facing, and then it has one on each mirror that faces backwards. They would tell you it's not in-cab recording. Technically true, but they have been known to be able to see reflections off the door glass and have issued points that way. And so the collision mitigation equipment with their camera system just allows them to more accurately pass out points when they feel they need to. You can get around that either in a lease purchase truck or having your own truck like I do. But you have to go to outside insurance. You can't use Swift insurance. And I was under the impression they were self-insured. That's what we've all always been told. They claim it's an outside insurance company. I guess legally it is, but it's all under the same umbrella. You guys know how that stuff works. So I'm not going to say anything to get myself in trouble, but that's the line they toe, that it's outside insurance that they use, and but they are financially affiliated with it. Let's say that. Mac T says Las Cruces. No, it's a little bitty town where that plant is, and I can't remember what I haul out of there. I want to say it's like salt or something, but there's a ton of those trucks there, and every once in a while, even to this day, every once in a while, I get a broker load out of there. Alaska, this is Michael G. I can't pronounce that last name. Alaska, watch more of Todd's videos. There are only a few things he's opposed to. It is probably one of those. I guess it depends who you ask. Some people think I'm opposed to everything. It's funny. You can watch my videos and you can twist, and I'm not saying anybody in here does that. You can twist my words to make me sound like anything you want me to be. And sometimes people do that. There's other YouTube channels that twist my words and make me sound like a really bad guy that don't know anything. And then there's guys that twist my words and make me sound a lot smarter than I really am. So I appreciate both sides. And I've said this before too. There's people I like. There's people I really like that hate my guts, and that's okay. And there's people that I can't stand that think I'm the greatest thing since sliced bread. So it's okay. It's okay to disagree with me. Just hopefully we can do it respectfully. Robbie Ross, channel member and moderator. I'm going to be coming off the road next week. I have a surgery and a well-deserved vacation. Yeah, keep Robbie Ross in your thoughts and prayers. He's also going to be getting some medical care, and then he's going to be roughing it on a nice Hawaiian vacation. And so keep him in your thoughts and prayers. Hopefully he'll still be in the comment section watching these videos. Hang on just a second. I'm fixing some things. All righty, let's see here. Gary Cook, channel member. Hopefully Swift has a lot of drivers that understand English. I'll tell you what's confusing about Swift. Swift uses a lot of third-party carriers, and just because you see a truck pulling a Swift trailer doesn't necessarily mean that they're employed by Swift. They could be doing power only for Swift or some things like that. And so even some of these videos you see on YouTube where the Swift driver's doing something stupid, a lot of times it's these third-party carriers that's pulling Swift freight. But they are, uh, as much as I hate to say it, they do have a lot of foreign drivers over there that struggle with English. They've got a lot of the flip-flop wearing Middle Eastern guys over there, and we'll see how this all comes in the washout, because they're fixing to really crack down on that, as they should. It's not a racial thing. I've said this: if I went to France, I would be expected to know the French driving rules, and I would be expected to speak French. And if I went to Germany, same thing. Australia, same thing. And so expecting somebody to come to our country and assimilate and learn our laws and learn our regulations and practice our hygiene habits is not racist or immoral or anything like that. It's just expecting the same thing that other countries would expect of us if we went there. If you're an American driver and you drive into Canada, you're expected to follow the Canadian DOT rules up there. And I realize it's not DOT. They're commercial driving stuff up there. So it's just being respectful of wherever you're at. There's some houses in the United States that when you go to their house, they expect you to take your shoes off before you go in the house. Taking your shoes off doesn't mean that they're racist or they don't like you. It's just you being respectful of their household rules. And so we'll see what happens, though. I'm excited that they're at least taking a look at it. That one guy started at Swift in 2013. It was good for me starting out. Yeah, my very first trucking job was at Swift. I worked for them 4.5 years. I did a year of over the road, and then I got a dedicated deal with them where I was home every day. And so I had a good experience there. I had good insurance. I learned a lot, and I just got that bug to want to be an owner-operator. And back then at Swift, if you wanted to be a lease purchase or anything, they wanted $10,000 down. And so that barrier to entry took out a lot of people. Alaska Hall, Todd, please don't go to a mega carrier. The problem is, at what point do you consider it a mega carrier? And the reason I say that, I heard a YouTuber the other day, he was talking about a trucking company that had 500 drivers, and he was calling it a mega carrier. I don't consider a company with 500 drivers a mega carrier. I don't consider, at what point, I'm not sure. At one point when I worked at DART, they had 3,100 drivers. I considered them a medium carrier. But a lot of people considered them a mega carrier. Now I think they've got about 500 or 600 trucks. They've shrunk quite a bit. And so that would be my question, would be, what do you consider a mega carrier? And there's pros and cons to both. I don't really want to work for a mega carrier again, but I can tell you I can make a lot of money working for one. And some of it's from the YouTube side, and not just talking referrals, but promotional deals and things like that. There's a lot of opportunity to make money at the larger carriers. You take a little bit of a hit on the driving side, but not always there either. I'm not opposed to anything. I'm looking at big companies and small companies, but honestly, I'm hoping that me and SRO get something worked out. But the time's running out. I've got to make a decision here pretty quick on some of these companies. I can only stall them so long. Lance Calhoun, tariffs versus English, two different things. Yes, sir, I agree. So for me, when I go to these shippers, a lot of times they're griping that most of the drivers that show up, I'll give you an example. I picked up a load of pecans in Carlsbad, New Mexico the other day, and they said that since they've been shipping pecans, I was the first driver they had that spoke English and that was friendly. And they ended up buying me pizza. They're like, hey, we're about to have lunch. Would you stay and have lunch with us? So I stayed there and had lunch with them. But it's more than just satisfying the shippers by being able to communicate and be friendly. These guys are pulling in construction zones and not able to read the digital signs that, that say workers are present or slow down or anything like that. And so it's a safety deal. And we really need people that have a general understanding of the English language, and they might not could read a college textbook, but they understand and can read English well enough to understand our traffic signs and things like that. And you're correct. Tariffs are a totally separate issue. It's just those two topics are the two that seem to be big in trucking right now. And I apologize for muddling those two together. Ryan, I enjoy your adventures. You're one of the last cowboys. It's funny. I thought about wearing a cowboy hat at one point, but a couple other YouTubers ruined it for me. I don't think I could wear a cowboy hat now. Lance Calhoun, several people voted for Trump that are not for tariffs, aka WW3. They started WW2. Well, yeah, but that's true of every presidential candidate. We've never had a president in the history of our country that the people that voted for him agreed with every single thing they did. And that's okay. It's like I say about these videos. If I pump out, and I hadn't done it in a while, but if I pump out 2 or 3 videos a week for a couple hours a piece, sometime during that 6-hour period, I'm going to say something you disagree with, and that's okay. It's that's how we learn. That's how we grow. I would just say be patient with him, and let's see what happens. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. He's already saved us millions and millions of dollars, probably billions, by having Doge go through the government and find government waste and things like that. There's a lot of positive things happening, but we got to keep in mind he's only been in office 100 days. Let's give him a few months. Let's give him a year or two. And I'm not a hypocrite. I did the same thing with Obama. When Obama got elected, I said, hey, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm not going to start dogging him on day one. I'm going to root for him because we all live in the same country. I'm going to assume that he wants this country to be good just like I want this country to be good. And when he does good things, I'm going to say, hey, that was a good thing he did. And when he does bad things, I'm going to say why I disagree with it. And that's the same thing here. Let's just give Trump the benefit of the doubt. Let's give him a little time. Hey, he's going to be in there the next 3.5 years anyway. If what he's doing ain't working, we'll have plenty of time to chastise him and criticize him. But let's give him the benefit of the doubt and give him a chance and see what happens. Gary Cook, channel member, fuel prices are coming down slowly, but they're coming down. Yes, sir, I agree with that. Lance Calhoun, Walmart will terminate for phone reflection and windshield. Yeah, and like, for example, I'll give you an example. My phone sits in a phone mount up on the dash. Even if I'm not touching it, even if I'm not messing with it, you can still see a glare off the windshield. And on iPhones, there's 2 little windows at the top of the home screen. And it'll like cycle between the weather. It'll cycle between your pictures. It'll cycle between news. So if those windows were moving on their own without me touching it, I could see how a camera would think, oh, Trucker Todd's on his phone. Chris Howard, when I was at DSW, which is leased to Swift, their cameras, they said, didn't record or listen to you. When I found out that they did, I would always play porn and stick my phone right by the speaker. That was Chris Howard. Yeah, I've heard of guys with inward facing cameras purposefully changing their clothes in front of the camera and things like that. The most disturbing thing I've heard of was one guy told me that him and his wife were having intimate relations in the sleeper, and the office was listening, and they called him the next day and commented on it. And to me, that sounds like the ultimate violation of privacy. I just, I'm trying to think, if I was the owner of that trucking company, I would be upset if I was paying guys and they had nothing better to do than to spy on drivers. Now, every one of these trucking companies will tell you, oh, our camera only records in the event of an incident. And it does, 15 seconds before the incident and 15 seconds after the incident. Well, in order for that camera to do that, it has to be recording all the time. It's loop recording, kind of like the loop recorder in my chest. So it's constantly recording. It's only saving the data if there's an incident, but it's always recording. And even right now on my personal camera, I can go in there and turn it on right now and see everything. I've got the internal microphone turned off, but I could turn it on and I could listen what's going on in the cab. Gary Cook, channel member, are you ready for the DOT blitz? I think so, because hang on just a second. I'll be right back. All righty, I'm back. I think I'm ready for the DOT blitz. I've had a lot of work done to the truck. I, got tires. I got just a ton of work done to it, front brakes. So, yeah, I think I'm ready. I normally take the blitz off, but I've got to be back in Lubbock May 21st. My grandson's graduating high school, and they've got a parade he wants me to go to, and then the graduation ceremony on the 22nd. So I'll probably leave out either Monday or Tuesday, and then I probably won't come back until around the 20th, unless I change jobs. And like I said, that's still up in the air. Robbie Ross, channel member and moderator. Fueled in Dallas yesterday, $2.49 a gallon. That's not bad. I fueled yesterday at the Petro in Oklahoma City, and I don't have my receipt in front of me to where I got to have my tablet to tell you what I paid. But I didn't fill up there. I just got I think 80 gallons or something. Gary Cook, channel member. JB Hunt has a few outside carriers pulling their trailers too. Schneider is also that way. Yeah, all of the bigger companies and even some of the smaller companies from time to time will have to broker out some of their freight just to cover all their commitments. Lance Calhoun, I think Musk decided politics is not his area, lost billions. Yeah, because his target audience is the left, the electric cars, things like that. That's more of a left thing. So he alienated a lot of his target audience. But yeah, I probably shouldn't say too much on that. But yeah, that's what happened is he upset the left. He did a lot of good while he was in there, but he stepped out. I think you see the same thing with a lot of celebrities. They're kind of keeping their political views to themselves. And most famously, I remember Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank. I heard him on Fox News one night, and they were asking him about his political views. And he said, I'm not going to tell you. He said, why would I want to tick off half my customers? And what he meant by that is about half the country is divided. Half are left and half are right. And if you come out and make a stand and say, hey, I support this political party or I support that political party, you're going to tick off half of your potential customers. Now, I think if you watch Kevin O'Leary, it's pretty easy to see which way he leans, but he doesn't come right out and say it, so that keeps him safe with his customer base. Mike B says, haha. Robbie Ross, channel member and moderator. You stopped at the Petro I was parked at? Yeah, and I saw your truck, but it didn't look like you were in it. I think you had already left for your dinner. Or you may have been inside getting a shower, but it didn't appear that you were in your truck. Actually, no, I didn't see your truck. I thought you had a red KW, but you're in a Freightliner. So, no, I did not even see your truck. All right, we're caught up on the comments. So while we're caught up, let's remind everybody, give this video a thumbs up. It really helps me out in the YouTube algorithms, and I need it now more than ever. Share this video on your social media platforms and make sure you're subscribed. But you can't just subscribe. After you subscribe, click the bell, select all. It's free to do, and you get notifications when future videos come out. Also, while you're at it, go check out truckertodd.net. Sorry about that. That's truckertodd.net. Also, you can email me at todd@truckertodd.net. And if you've got additional questions, leave a comment. Tell your friends about these videos. Get them to watch them on the replay if they can't be here live with us. This is kind of an average turnout for this video, but a lot of people watch us on the replay. So over the next 24 hours, we'll get a lot of views on here. And I appreciate each and every one of you being here. I'm going to give you just a few minutes to type whatever y'all want to talk about, and we'll take it from there. If we don't get anything, we may wrap it up pretty quick. My grandson will be here in about an hour. Oh, wow. Wasn't expecting that. Channel member and moderator Robbie Ross with the $20 super chat. I'll always be a supporter of the Trucker Todd Network. Well, I appreciate that. If we ever get the merch going, we're going to make sure that Robbie Ross gets some free merch. He has been a big supporter for a long time, and more importantly, a really good friend. So I definitely appreciate him. We'll leave that up while everybody's typing their comments. Not sure what's happening with this thing. Anybody else got anything else y'all want to talk about tonight? I've been gone so long that everybody's out of practice. I'm gonna have to start making more videos so that you guys can get back in the habit of commenting. All righty, I guess everybody's tuckered. We'll go ahead and. Oh, wait, we got one more. So, Jesus, name above all names. What are you doing these days? So, I'm still running the spot market. I'm still negotiating and picking my own loads and just working a lot. So, people say, well, why don't you do more videos? It seems like every Tuesday and Thursday, which is when I originally started doing videos, that something always comes up. I get delayed at a shipper or something like that, and I'm unable to get the videos out. So I'm hoping things kind of level off soon and I'll be able to do it again. Somebody said, am I not getting miles? No, I'm getting miles because I'm booking myself. So I'm running just as hard as I want to. And I'm getting decent rates compared to everybody else right now. Just, it's a tough market right now. But yeah, I'm kind of doing the same thing I've been doing, just working my life away. I was there at 5:30. Let me see if I can see what time I was there. I can look real quick. So it looks like I got there about 6:15. So you'd been there about an hour, hour and a half when I got there. I don't know, maybe you were in the shower or something. I didn't see your Freightliner though. I didn't drive row by row in the parking lot, but just the part I drove through, I didn't see your truck. Texas Danger, nice house you got there, Todd. Yeah, this is actually the sleeper on my truck. I've got a piano. Let me see if I can back here. There's my piano, and yeah, this is the sleeper on my truck. No, I'm joking, of course. The actual setting I'll show you is just a white wall. It's really boring, and that's why I put that up. Virtual background. See, it's just a white wall. I'm sitting in a corner, but I put that up. If it's hard times, I'm up against a wall. If I'm freezing my tail off, I'm in the snow. But I just like this living room. It's nice and relaxing. Robbie Ross, channel member and moderator. I left at 6:45. I'm parked in the handicap spot. So that receipt was where I was looking to see where what time I got fuel. You were probably pulling out while I was getting fuel. We probably missed each other by about 2 or 3 minutes, it sounds like. Ooh, it gets warm when I wear a hat. All right, I'm giving y'all a few more minutes to type stuff here before we call it a day. Oh, okay. Okay. So Robbie Ross, channel member and moderator, said the truck was there. I Ubered to see my lady friend. I just missed it somehow, but you were already gone, I guess, from the sounds of it, or you were probably getting in the Uber while I was passing through. I should have texted you and told you I was going to be getting fuel there. I might could have said hi to you real quick before you left or something. I'm just looking over here to make sure I'm not missing any comments. Anybody else got anything before we wrap it up for the night? I just took the message delay off so y'all can type faster. Channel member and moderator Robbie Ross, dog was on duty protecting the truck. Yeah, I bet. At some point, I'd like to have another dog on the truck, but this apartment complex we're in, they don't allow pets. So it would really become a problem during home time. All right. Everybody's slowed down. I guess everybody's tired. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. You guys have a great day. There's a possibility we may do one of these again tomorrow. I don't know yet. I got a thing I'm supposed to go to. I don't know if I'm going to go to it or not. Y'all have a great night. Thanks for joining me. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.